Happy New Year. Happy. First off, I want to start off by wishing all of my subscribers and my followers a very pleasant, safe, and prosperous New Year. I'd love to say happy, but I don't think there's too many of us that are happy right now with what's going on here in the country. We all have our personal battles, but battles just the same. So, blessings of the Most High. So many things to say, so many feelings to express. One thing is I don't have any regrets, none whatsoever. It is what it is. It is what it is. So I made myself a little lunch, maybe have a little bite, and let's talk about it. The matter. The matter of 3 meters. There's 3 electrical meters connected to the building, which service each individual apartment respectively. But there are other utilities here in the building that are supposed to be landlord expenses. But it seems like he's passed these expenses on to the tenants in the building. I'll give you an example. The gentleman who lives on the first floor, I won't mention his name. We've had a discussion about this. Personally, I think he doesn't know how to handle this, and he's just like, well, fuck it. But quite frankly, the landlord has taken advantage of him because his meter, I believe, it's yet to be proven, but I believe because we only have 3 meters here, I could shut my apartment down. I still have 1 outlet in my apartment that's still alive. My neighbor downstairs on the 2nd floor, married couple, they have the same experience. They cut the power off in their apartment. There are certain utilities in their apartment that are still running. There can only be 1 individual where that power is still. Power is like water. It flows. You cut it off, it stops. If there's a leak or a short, it goes around. The landlord changed over the heating and hot water situation in the building. Apartments 2 and 3, myself and a neighbor downstairs directly, our heat and hot water is included in our rent. Just recently, the landlord made a new contract with the young fellow who lives on the first floor, who I say shoulders the majority of the power expenses in the building. He took them off without agreement, which our furnaces were all gas furnaces. And he took his off of that and he installed an electric hot water heating system. And he turned that responsibility over to the tenant in that apartment 1. Now, mind you, power is still being siphoned off by the landlord to power other utilities in the building. And the only grace there possibly could have been of conscience would have been to have had continue apartment one with the gas and, hot water, heat and hot water. That would have been respectful. But he's now put the burden of him having to pay his own heat and hot water outside of his rent cycle to the power company. And again, he's paying for the landlord's usage, powering the basement, powering the other furnaces, all the other utilities that run off of outside of apartment 2 and 3. Guy in apartment 1 is shouldering that expense. That's really kind of fucked up. But I say that to say this. Shit. That's the consciousness of this landlord. He's a joke. And currently, as if you've been following, he has me in court now because I literally had to go on a rent strike, personal rent strike, to get any kind of response to the needs, timely response to the needs that I had here in this apartment, which we've come to find out were repairs that took my apartment out of code. And by falling out of code with those, for the length of time I've been out of code, the landlord had me paying on an apartment, plain and simple, it wasn't up to code. It has taken advantage of me. It's taken advantage of me. And he really can't say he doesn't know. What makes this landlord so unique is he's the owner of one of the larger corporate rental properties owners. I don't know if I could say the whole of Vermont, but I know he's pretty big, definitely big in my area. And he's a lawyer, he's an attorney. So he can't play dumb. Which brings me to this. The court has denied me 6.5 months of me bringing my case in front of the court. I think this landlord is in cahoots with the judge or the judicial system here. And they've been allowing him to extend and put me off and put me off and put me off. This last episode, my last hearing, I was ready to present my case, and the judge says, well, let's just think outside the box here. I beg to differ with you, Your Honor. I allowed you this. 3 times I've allowed you this grace for this landlord to get his act together. He hasn't. I've been the one to fucking pay. And now I'm actually being treated like, I've done something to somebody, They're fucking out of order. And this last episode with Think Outside the Box is, wants me to go to mediation with this landlord. Haven't even heard my side of the case. And the judge feels that I need to mediate with this landlord. There's nothing to mediate. We're 6 months into extension. He's a fucking attorney. I'm not just talking to a person that's of the same skill set as myself, a novice in law. Somebody that has no real concept of what's going on. He's a fucking attorney. In real estate. This is his thing. These motherfuckers are playing me. And, excuse my language. Happy New Year. I said I didn't want to bring this shit into the next year, but here I am. Yeah. this bullshit. And I'm fed up with it. There's really nothing to mediate. He's the owner of this apartment. He knows what he needs to do to bring this apartment up to code, or at least make it rentable. He's not smart. He's not smart. He's really taken abuse and advantage of me. Yeah. And I think he mistakes my silence or whatever he perceives from me as some kind of ignorance, that he can continue to play me like this. And the judge is assisting him. And that's what's really fucked up. This whole system is allowed to exist by taking advantage of the less advantaged, the less fortunate. I don't know what there is to mediate, but I really think that they're just waiting and waiting and waiting and putting enough shit on me going, oh, maybe this will take them over the top. Maybe this will take them over the edge. Stupid fucks. You're wrong. You guys are wrong. They have completely played themselves. Stupidity. They've broken the law, I'm pretty sure. And if anything, mediation is not the case. I'm guaranteed, after the accusations that have been made on me, I'm allowed a jury. I want my hearing. I want this case adjudicated in front of a jury. Plain and simple. This guy's wrong. This guy is wrong. And the judge needs to prove himself. That he's a man of the people. He's the man of law and order. Law and order. This motherfucker needs to be held accountable. Enough said.